All praise, 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 family. Happy midweek. All praise. This is a special midweek because me didn't know me was gonna have one, but me have to because, like I said, me's trying to break these classes down where they're not long, very very long. So today, me have to bring this part to you because uh, where the Most High is taking us and the things that she's revealing to us have a lot to do with our captivity that wasn't ever brought out because there was no understanding and no one truly understood what was going on with us as a people. Uh, the things that the men were told to tell us in uh, the earlier stages of this captivity, those were all lies. And they were taught to teach us a certain way to read the Bible, see the Bible, and to know it because they never wanted this to be revealed. Of course, that had to take place because the Most High God, she had to get her revenge on her people. All praise. All praise. All praise. So we're gonna look at a word, and a lot of people know this word, and a lot of people don't like this word. You'll hear people sometimes say, somebody's jealous of me, and I hate that, and I hate them, and you don't have to be jealous, but well, we'll see. Jealousy is a very important tool that was used by the Lord in the lives of the Hebrew Israelites. And she said it numerous of times, about being jealous um, of her people and what her people would do. Now, we're going to go all the way back because we have to. We are the ones that are from Moab. We are the last generation of those from Moab. So we have to go back and remember what she told us. And she told us, what did she say? Go back to Moab and remember the law that was given to you. Remember it. So we found out what that law was, and it was the 10 Commandments. It was the 10 Commandments. So the beginning, before we became a people uh, and crossed over in the desert, none of these things, well, they applied, but not to the fact of a law. It was always this way because from Abraham all the way, they knew these things, but it wasn't called the law. So it became the law. And so the Lord made it law because just saying it didn't give it the impact or the power or the what was needed for you to do what thus saith the Lord. So she gave you these laws. Now, her laws are based on a word. And the word is jealous. They're based on a word, and her word is jealous. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, you're in captivity because you broke the laws and you didn't obey and you didn't do right and you blah, 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 blah. Yes, but let's get into it a little deeper. We're going to look at this word, which is jealousy, jealous, all of it. It's pretty much the same, but they here in hell, they break it down to jealous and jealousy and all those different things. Jealousies. But we're going to look at and the way we're going to do it is we're going to just, instead of, like I said, I don't want to spend all day with it, but I do want to get an impact into this because you have to understand what's being said. Jealous is resentment. Ooh-wee. You don't really have to go any further because resentment, I'm going to tell y'all what that means too. It is resentment against a rival. And you know that being chosen, being God's people, being special, belonging to her, you brought rivals to your God. And you didn't even know it. You knew it back then, but you don't know it now. But that's what the prophetess is here for. The prophetess is here to let you know that what you're going through and what you're dealing with is all based on 10 things. The 10 commandments and her rivals. Who are her rivals? Other gods. So everybody usually, from what they understand, they'll say, well, the Bible is to everybody and it's about sin and you sin against God and blah blah blah. But do you know it is not the 10 commandments in the order and in the way it's written and in the meanings that they use the 10 commandments for. They use the 10 commandments to say you're a sinner, and if they deem you've done something wrong they don't like, they call it a sin. Everything is not a sin, because you want everything to be a sin, because the sins you have committed are the ones spoken of, and you try to take and put it on something else instead of what is actually being said. All right. So we're going to, I don't need all this, but the mental unease, I should have put that. Well, see, it makes it go longer. But y'all read this. Y'all investigate. You know now how to look words up. The prophetess has taught you how to get in there and dig it, the nuggets. This is up here so that now you can go in and dig these things up so she doesn't have to be here with you all day and all night, okay? Uh, let's go to 2. It's the same thing, but stresses it a little bit more for you so you can. This is feeling resentment against who? Someone, because of that person. Come on now. Huh? You look at another nation, because your gods are cursed. You'll see another nation and you'll want to be with that nation because they're doing better. Oh, I can do better with a white girl. Yeah, I ain't got to put up with the bullshit from these black women. They got jobs and they'll take care of me. They'll let me be myself because, they know what I've gone through as mine. Oh, they know what my people have suffered, so I can do so much better. But every thought you have in that direction makes you a rival against God. You bring in someone that she does not accept, that she does not want, that she is not going to accept. Y'all didn't know God had feelings. All this time y'all thought she was Casper, the friendly ghost, and she just floats around in heaven and sits on a throne whenever she feels like it. She's a person. Let me show you. Feeling resentment because of another. All right. When God said, I'm putting you into captivity because of your sins, but I'm going to give you an out. If you get with another God and be successful, I'll forgive you. Or that changes things. None of them clauses are in there. The day it was written, till this day, because it's the same day, you don't change. See, nothing changes in a day because it's the same day. It's etched in, it's literally written in stone. It doesn't change. So God felt the pain. Listen. Let me, I know I've said this before. She gave you everything your heart could desire. You were the greatest people above all nations. You had a land that flowed with milk and honey. You lived in palaces. You never wanted for a thing. All she asked for you to do was obey her. And it was going good for a minute. But when you get beside yourself, I was making $15 an hour, and then once you start making $45 an hour, you change. Well, I can't live in a house like that. I make $45 an hour. I've got to get out of the ghetto. I have no business here. I don't even fit in with these people. This is what happens. And so you change, but yet you make God jealous, because when I get to Deuteronomy, you're going to see what God proposed for you, and it doesn't change. It's going to stay the same. So you say, well, I've got to go and move. I need to be in a kennel. I've got to move amongst the dogs. I want to be near them. It would make me seem like I'm better than those people. Because in your heart, you think being amongst the dogs is better than being amongst your people. Some of y'all, it ain't going to go over everybody's head. You claim you don't want to be in a kennel, but you move to a kennel. And then when the Great Danes and the pit bulls don't like you, huh? Well, you had no business coming in their kennel. Their kennel was for them. And they know your God. They don't know that she's not going to do it in captivity, but they know your God will give you power if your God is there, and you could overtake the place. But that's not going to happen. But they fear that because it's in them. It's in their DNA. They remember, too, back when Israel was great, mighty, powerful, and strong. So when you decide, well, you know, I'm not like those people, you get a little beside yourself, and then you move away, and you don't understand why the misshapen plus signs are burned in your yard. You don't understand why they paint nigger on the side of your house. You can't understand it because I speak very well. If they want to ask me a question, I can speak it very well. And I dress appropriate. I dress so finely. You know, I don't understand. I'm doing all the things correctly. Why is it that they won't accept me? Well, they won't accept you because you are still to them an animal that they have flipped the switch. And now the man is the animal because you're beneath, and the animal is the man. And you can't change that. You cannot change that. I know you want to. I know you believe in your heart that it's going to be a kumbaya day. There's not. Y'all been tricked. You've been bamboozled. But the good thing is the prophet has come along to show you so that you can turn. If you will turn. This wheel goes round and round, round and round, round and round. So they can go round and round. The wheels on the bus can go round and round and turn you around. But you know, let me tell you a story right quick. Let me just give you a scenario that the Lord and I was talking about this morning. Me got it on record, but me don't want to play the recording. Maybe me can do it by heart. God had a son, and this son was a robot, a literal robot. It was a machine. And God put the machine out in the desert. And then God made a box that wasn't attractive. It wasn't what the robot would have deemed or esteemed beautiful. So the box is sitting there, but the box works only one way. Now he's out in the desert, and he needs his box because the box is his life source. The box is his life source. But he doesn't like the box. So one day he walks across the desert, and he sees the other robots. They don't look like him, but they're robots, and their boxes are made, they're not square. Their boxes have wide sides at the bottom. And if you look at their box from the side, it's flat in the front. It's not made like their boxes. It's so different. But it's got little dots at the top that kind of go up, and they can flutter. And your box is just square. And you like that box, so you say nice things to the box, and the box just gives you the things that you need because you're praising that box, and that box is just great. But you got to go back to your desert. You go back to your desert, and there your box just sits there, and you look at that box, and ugly box. Ugh. And the box says, well, just use what's been given to you to get from me what you need. And you begrudgingly, all right, okay, I think you're beautiful. And the box goes, well, okay, here. You take it. And the whole time you got it, you're thinking about, what was, those boxes over there. I wish I could have one of those boxes. And your box just sits there, and you steadily drain. You get drained and drained and drained. So let's say you need from your box water. Instead of going to your box for the water, you'll drink pop, you'll drink fruit juice, you'll drink tea, lemonade. You go all around not to go to your box, and the box is just sitting there. And you look over at the box. The box just wants to be praised because the box is your life source. But you don't like that. That's the ugliest box God could have come up with. But you didn't think the box was ugly until your enemy came in and told you your box is ugly, our box is beautiful. Make it any sense to you? So the box just sits there in the box full of water. But I'll do anything not to praise that ugly box. That's us, Israel. So God that supplied you that box that you call ugly, that has your life source in it, you made her fucking jealous. You have moved her to jealousy. You have hurt her feelings. You have lost your way completely. The box isn't painted the color you like. The box ain't shaped how you like. The box, if I give it something, I got to hear a bunch of talk back from the box because I'm not going to say anything good to the box because I don't feel good toward the box. So the box doesn't say good things back to you. So you leave the box. You go and get you one of those other boxes. And life seems to be pretty good. You're drinking all the water that you want, but it's not your water. And you're almost about ready to die. And your beautiful box looks at you and, I need me somebody that's healthy. I need me somebody that's strong. I need me somebody that's going to be able to do. You just won't do. So you have to leave your beautiful box and you go back. And your box is gone. And you're looking for that ugly box. You need water so bad because you're dying. You didn't want it from the ugly box. The ugly box has moved on. That's God. God has left you. I'm going to prove it. I don't lie. With her ugly self. Woo-hoo! As y'all call her, ugly. We gonna show y'all. Boy, me and the Lord be having some talks. And the way things are said to me be trying to say it back to y'all how she brings it to me. But me do the best me can. But that box is gone. That box is going to be gone. That box is leaving. Boxes leaving. Anyway, let's keep on going. Y'all gonna be in the desert looking, and you ain't gonna see this ugly box, your ugly box, and no other of them ugly boxes. All right, I'll praise. 3, resentment. The feeling of displeasure, huh? Or indignation at some act. Oh, was that an act to leave your box in the desert and go find you what you call a beautiful box? Remark, person, etc. Us as a people, because we did not know who we were or what we were, caused us to be a shame. Come on now. All of us are a shame to our God. I'm going to get into shame too. Not in this one, but I'm going to get into shame. Your actions before other people and before God are a shame. And your shame is on you. You got folks, let me share this part of it though. I gotta watch my time. Everybody, let me start out this way. Everybody knows Martin Luther King. His past, they think it's great. Oh, he was a wonderful man. Oh, he did this for the blacks. Oh, he da 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 da. That's his legacy, his past, who he is. That will never change. Okay? Because that's who he was. Okay? Let's look at Malcolm X. They say he was this, he was that, blah blah blah. He did this for his people. Okay. That's his legacy. That will never change. When you bring him up, people bring up what? The good things that they say they did. They thought were good because they didn't know any better. Those were considered good things. The nobody that has a good past ever tries to change themselves. I hope y'all understand me where I'm going with this. Everybody that had a good past never tries to change themselves. When a person has a bad past, they think by doing or trying to show they're different, they're good, they've changed, erases their past. It doesn't. It doesn't remove it, it doesn't erase it, and it doesn't change it. Let me share this because I know this is hard. This is hard. A person, I'm gonna use a drunk because I've heard the drunk stories. A person that was a drunk and they no longer drink. They don't want to hear anything about them ever being a drunk. No, they don't want to hear it, don't want to hear it, don't want to hear it, don't want to hear it. If they were a drunk, it was because somebody else made them a drunk. As if that makes the story better. Everything you did as a drunk, you did it this day. It doesn't go anywhere. It's still there with you. Okay? And if you're a prostitute and you decided you've made enough money, you don't need to do it anymore, it's still there. Same people that you ran into, the same people that were your Johns. What do? I guess as a prostitute, they try to change their look, their image, move to another state or do something. Like people don't travel, but they try to move to another state. You try to erase who you were. You can't do that. It goes nowhere. This is what you do. All you do is the wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round, and the bus that you're riding will turn around, and then you're the other way. But you're still you. Prostitutes don't prostitute no more. Drunks don't drink no more. Druggies don't drug no more. You cannot, you cannot, because me didn't know me was going to do this tonight, but me had some illustrations. And I like props. You cannot be this much of a prostitute and this much of a not prostitute. Does anybody understand what I'm saying? So I was, well, not me, but shit, this much of a prostitute. Prostituted for 30 years. And I ain't been a prostitute for 5. So the ain't prostitute works so hard to prove she ain't no prostitute no more instead of just not being a prostitute anymore. This is where we get in trouble with God, because once we try to start proving we're not the person we used to be, everything is, oh, well, God talks to me. God leads me. God guides me. Put in the name God on every motherfucking thing you do, and all you was a fucking drunk, a prostitute. You don't want that remembered because of people. Fuck people. You gotta face God. Praise. You don't have to face people. People are here. You gotta face God. And I dare any of you to stand before God and say, well, I know who I am. I am this and I am that, and I understand, and listen. Me help somebody. Me do. I cannot erase yesterday, as we call it. I cannot erase yesterday. Everything I was then goes with me now. All I do is now I know God. I just straighten up and I line up with the word. Hey, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not, thou shalt not. It didn't even say thou shalt not be a prostitute. You just know the effects of being a prostitute and you don't want it no more. We got to stop that. We have to stop trying to prove to other people that I'm not that person I used to be. Because I'm going to tell you, rich here and written now. Anybody in your past that had a problem with you because of what you were, they're going to have a problem with you if you become prince sitting on the throne and could take their life. They're not going to change. They know you for who you were. I don't care how you act now. They are not going to see the good. They are not going to recognize it. They're not going to accept it. Well, good. Okay, you don't do it no more, but I know you win. Huh? You don't owe them anything. You owe God. Oh, praise. You spend too much time trying to prove you are not the person you used to be, and you are still that person. You just don't do what you used to do. Rib like to say she changed too, but she still eats the same amount of candy she always ate. But you understand why I can joke with that? Because in people's eyes, that's nothing really bad. But I was a drunk, and people hated me because I drank. Well, try hating yourself because you eat too much candy and you get mad at yourself all the time, and you're upset with yourself. And you got to live with you. You ain't got to live with them other folk. All of it's bad. But it's how you view it. We just have to say that because I don't want people wasting a lot of time trying to change who they are. God made you that person because of this captivity and this sin. Because you don't know who you were 3 generations ago. You don't know. So, we have to pay for the seeds we sow. We sowed those seeds, and those seeds come up, and we don't like it. The what you planted is all you listen. Me keeps on telling y'all all the time. What you plant is all you're going to get. Make everybody hate you now that you know God, and this is the time where you could be the greatest you could ever be, but you're choosing to make everybody hate you because you're going to prove I'm not who I used to be. I am this great person of God. I'm a God person. I know God. I can read God. God talk. God speak. God. Putting God's name on something don't change you. Stop trying to change that and just be whom you are now. It'll go over a lot better. Trust me, it will. Just be you. Don't be the person trying to prove I'm not that person. There ain't no programs for us. You can't program yourself out of you. If you like how it was when you was drunk, go drink, because that's what you're going to do. But if you didn't like it, don't drink. Don't drink. Ain't no big deal. If you got tired of the prostitutes and you didn't like it, I want to stand up. Stand up. Come on, y'all, be for real. Y'all make life too fucking hard. Just stand up. Shit. I mean, come on now. Be real. We got to be real, because when you go before God, you're going to have to be real. You can try to hide with people. You can try to fake with people. There's people that can still see through that. But you got to come before God. I had to say that. We just had to. Oh, praise. So let's get back to this. So let's move on, because I done messed up. Let's go to 4. Let's see what we got on 4. All right. So me want y'all to understand this goes nowhere. You cannot prove to you you can't remove your past. I said all that. I'm proved. You can't remove your past. This same day. Deuteronomy 28, 48, 50. People can love you whether you were a drunk, whether you were a drug addict, whether you were a prostitute. See, I'm just naming things that are prevalent that people run from because this is who they were. People didn't like seeing me because, listen, I didn't agree with nobody. Me would cut. Here she comes. Everybody, it could be 50 people, 49 folks. Me make 50, and all 49 agree, and but they got sick of that. They didn't like that. Who she thinks she is? She's wrong because we all agree, but I just couldn't agree with everything. Just how it was. So they got tired of seeing me. So I can't hide that. Those people are back there. They remember it, and if they see me today, they're going to turn and try to hide from me because they don't want to say nothing to me, because they know I'm not going to say the right thing. I'm not going to agree. All praise. So let's look at Deuteronomy. It says, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemy. You don't want to serve your enemy. You want to love the enemy. You want to be in love with the enemy. You want to make the enemies your children with the enemy. You want to do everything you possibly can with your enemy, thinking that's going to change your past. It's not going to change your past. Which the Lord shall send against you. She sent them against you. No, nigger, you shouldn't want to live in their neighborhood. They're the smart ones, you're the dumb one. They have their own neighborhoods assigned for themselves. They don't want you in it. I don't care how high and how pompous you think you are. I don't care what you think you've accomplished that will put you in the kennel, but you cannot go and live amongst the dogs. Okay? She said, in hunger and in thirst. You're poor because what? She made you poor. And in nakedness and in want of all things. You can't get enough. You seem like you pay your bills to start over again. That month is all over again. Can't have a roof over your head unless you pay. Can't have water unless you pay. Can't have electricity unless you pay. I said you got to go to everybody's altar now. Where you had one altar and got everything that you needed, now you got to go to everybody's altar. All because of your sin. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until till he hath destroyed thee. So if he's put a yoke on you to destroy you, how do you change it? Well, I just become a better person. I just do this and I get an education and if you're not Hebrew, maybe that works. I couldn't get one. I went to college and couldn't finish. Thank goodness. 49. The Lord shall bring a nation to love and to cherish and to hold you. Because that's what you want. That's how like I told y'all in another teaching, how you'll take something negative and you say, if I make it a good thing, then it makes it better. They call us niggers, and so if we take the name nigger, that makes it better, and so we feel better about ourselves, and then they can't use that, and then not so. So, a nation against thee. Now, to go into the rest of, we know who they are. A nation whose tongue. Now, let me break this down for you. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. I know you get the parts about understanding the language because I am Kunta Kinte, no, you're Toby. Not just that. You don't understand their tongue because the things that they speak make no sense. Your women lay with dogs, literal animals. They have sex with it. The language you don't understand. Do you ever notice how white people joking is not like black people joking? They speak a different language. We crack mama jokes and we make fun. I wonder why it's always mama jokes, though. And your daddy, okay, but anyway, we know why now. But we do things, we're not what they call practical jokers, or we don't do it's not funny, but we say it's funny because we want to do evil things. That's them. So their tongue is different from ours. The language that they speak, the way they put words together to do things, is so different from Israel. We're not in our homeland. We're not where everything was pure, wholesome, clean, sweet, loving, kind, gentle. It says y'all was beautiful people. And she took all that away from you. This nation did that. She allowed it. So you can't change that. 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which, I said, this is golden. This is golden. I want y'all to listen to this. Which shall not regard the person of an old, nor show favor to the young. This is where we are. You can't go back last generation and erase it with an eraser and say, look at me now, I'm different. You are the same people. You just have been given that opportunity to add to your agenda better things. Law keeping, coming back to your God, coming back before your Lord God. That's all you can do. You're still the same person that you were. Now, you can let the white man tell you he's got programs for you and he's got, he can take you and do classes and, I tell people all the time, well, if you ain't a prostitute no more, just say you ain't a prostitute no more. How hard is that? That's all you got to do. If somebody come up to you and offer you some money, take it maybe. I don't know. If you need it that bad, but don't do it if you're not a prostitute no more. Simple. And they try to bring me sweets and candy. I say no. I'm lying, y'all. Take every bit they give me. I got some ice cream when we done. I'm sorry. All praise. So the prophetess had to bring this part to you to help open your eyes up, because tomorrow you might cry a little bit. I don't know. You might not cry because you're so fucking hard. Friday's class, not tomorrow, but I'll teach it that way. But Friday Sabbath class, you're gonna learn something, and this is a part of it, and you'll see that all this other stuff that you worry about ain't got nothing to do with what your worries should be. Your worries should be the 10 Commandments, and if you kept that, or is keeping it now. Some of you are now keeping it. And the thing is so prevalent. God pairs you up and tells you to go by her 10 Commandments, and that's the end of the story. She doesn't tell you anything else. That's it. Them 10 laws. Live by them. Love you so much, family. See you on the Sabbath. Happy midweek. Shalom. All praise, all praise, all praise.